Crazy Town time, G. No one knows rural America like Joe Biden. Roll it. All right. Let's go, Joe.
No, it's not his campaign here and I made that commitment.
What?
I don't think anybody heard it, but we're back.
Whoa. Can we start that again, G?
What commitment?
What's that first line? What the hell does he say?
I just want to point out, this is the start of his speech. This is not the middle of his sentence. That's just how he started. I don't know what he's saying.
That literally is not. That is really not English. I know we make these as English. That's not English.
I think he tried to say Iowa, maybe. That's where he was.
Go ahead.
No, it's not his campaign here and I made that commitment. I don't think anybody heard it, but we're back. We're back. And my name is Joe Biden. I work for Congressman Axney. There she is. When you hear about progress we're making in Iowa on everything from biofuels to bridges, you can thank Cindy. There's no fence at the White House high enough to keep her out. But I'm here today to talk about the work we're doing to lower costs for American families and put rural America at the center of our efforts to build a future that's made in America. And that's not hyperbole. It's about being made in America. I just had a chance to see the work you do here and turn more than 40 million bushels of local corn into 130 million gallons of ethanol a year. That's a lot of gallons. It supports farmers and the farm economy. You know, everybody thinks Delaware is a big industrial state, and banking state, and DuPont. We have a $4 billion industry. It's called agriculture in Delaware. And it's mostly, we have more chickens in Delaware, broiler chickens, than you have in the entire Midwest, I think. All kidding aside. My state, everybody thinks is an industrial state. It's a very rural state. The largest city outside of the main city of Wilmington, Delaware, is almost 150,000 people, is 20,000 people. And it's we understand about getting the rural communities engaged and being able to be able to make it generally. I've set a goal of zero carbon for aviation sector, for example, by 2050. I've spoken with the leading heads of all major airlines. It's going to require billions of gallons of sustainable aviation fuel. You simply can't get to net zero by 2050 without biofuels. Aviation is the case where you blend in a little bit of biofuel. It's where it's called drop-in, meaning 100% biofuel. You don't need to take my word for it. Take the word of the CEO of American Airlines, who said, sustainable aviation fuel is the cornerstone of our strategy, end of quote. Your children are going to see more change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 40 years. That's how rapidly technology is changing. Look, I grew up in a family, not a joke, where if the price of a gallon of gasoline went up, it was a conversation at our kitchen table. Putin's invasion of Ukraine has driven up gas prices and food prices all over the world.
Here we go.
The two largest grain producers in the world, China and, Ukraine and Russia, are not doing what they usually do, so everything's going up. 70% of the increase in prices in March came from Putin's price hike in gasoline. Without American technology. Look at the number of major American companies on their own, not at my urging. Over 600 of them, from Exxon to McDonald's, have left Russia. Russia.
They're still open.
He has a burning tundra, literally. It's burning. Permafrost is burning.
Permafrost?
He's got a problem.
Was that at the foothills of the Himalayas?
For that problem to spread to the rest of the world. We lowered the deficit by $300 billion so far, without raising a penny in tax on anybody in this hall. Yeah.
Where am I?
In this giant barn. And America should be seeing the savings. And we're not just learning and leaning on our reserves and our allies and partners to help bring down gas prices and to power the nation. I'm announcing that the environmental, and I don't think as much of an announcement, is already broken out pretty much the last 24 hours, to allow E15 gasoline that uses more ethanol from homegrown crops to be sold across the United States this summer in order to increase fuel supply. And even though E15 is only available in a few thousand pumps today, We're investing more than $100 million to build biofuel infrastructure of the future.
Oh, good.
Things like blender pumps. It's going to solve a whole problem. But it's not going to solve all our problems. But it's going to help some people. As a minister, and I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, even if it's an extra buck or two in the pockets that they fill up, will make a difference in people's lives. I've said it before and I say it again. I'm a capitalist. But without capitalism, without competition, isn't capitalism. With this investment, we're sending a message to America's small communities and the people who call you home. This
Call you your
You've
home.
gone from waiting for Infrastructure Week. Now you got infrastructure decade. I'm more optimistic about America today than I've been in my whole life. My doc, I had an aneurysm when I was much younger, and I was put in the hospital. I was a senator.
Like 2 minutes ago?
He started explaining to me what an aneurysm was. I said, I don't need to know. He said, I'm just going to just take the top of your head off and do something with it. And I said, no, you
Never
do
put it
your
back?
job, I'll do mine. I'll be the patient. And after it was all over, he said, you know what your problem is, Senator? And the senator, and I said, no. He said, you're a congenital optimist. And I am, because I'm an American. So we're going to help farmers get their products to market faster, more efficiently, lower cost, and keep American agriculture globally competitive. Folks, the list goes on. I'm starting to bore myself here, but this is important stuff. I think.
That's a classic.
Wow. I love the fact that they had to write Iowa on the front of one of those.
Those John Deere in the headlight track.
Just so when he turns
tractors.
around, he knows where the hell he is. Where am I? Iowa.